Okay, these are the notes for Unit 3, Lesson 2. So we are looking at solving multi-step equations. So we're kind of doing like we did in Lesson 1, where you just solved basic equations, and we're kind of adding the distributive property and then some other properties we talked about in Unit 1, I believe. So there's three steps to solving a multi-step equation. The first step is to distribute. If needed. Sometimes you may distribute, sometimes you won't have to. Easy way to tell if you need to distribute is you look at if there's a number being multiplied in front of parentheses. Like example 2 down here, there's a negative 7 in front of parentheses, so I'd have to distribute that negative 7. So you should be able to kind of tell, you guys did well with the distributing property earlier, when you need to distribute. Step 2, you are going to combine like terms. We've already combined like terms. So terms with the same variables, add or subtract together. The thing to remember is if you're on the same side, you use the symbol that's there. So don't try to use opposite signs. You only use opposite signs when you move it to the other side of the equal sign. If you're staying on the same side of the equal sign, you just take whatever sign is in front. So I'm going to take sign in front. Whatever sign is in front is what you're going to do when you combine them. You only do opposite when you move it to the other side of the equal sign. I see that mistake a lot. And then step 3 is to solve just like we did in lesson 1. So you will notice as you kind of distribute, as you combine like terms, your equation is going to look simpler, and then you can just solve and use opposite operations like we did in lesson 1 to get the variable alone. Again, we are still solving these, so we are trying to get the variable equal to a number, the variable alone. So as I look at number 1, we do not need to distribute. We don't see any numbers in front of parentheses. So we're going to go straight to step 2, and we're going to combine like terms. As I look on the left side, we simplify the left side by combining like terms. So 9x minus 7x, again, we're staying on the left side, so you don't use opposite signs. You take the sign in front. 9x minus 7x is 2x. And then add your constants, which a constant is a term without a variable. 1 minus 5, negative 4, and then equals, and then negative 20. So you're going to simplify the left side, combine like terms, take the sign in front, and then it should look like an equation that we did on lesson 1. So now you take care of the constant first, so the number furthest away from the x. So now we do opposite because we're moving it to the other side of the equal sign because we're trying to cancel it out. So 2x, negative 4 plus 4 is gone. Negative 20 plus 4, negative 16. Again, use a calculator if you need help with the positive and negative operations. How do I get rid of this negative 2? Or sorry, how do I get rid of this 2? 2 times x. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. X equals negative 16 divided by 2, negative 8. That is solved because I have a variable equal to a number. Again, you can always check this by plugging in negative 8, and you should get the left side to be negative 20. Now as I look at number 2, we should notice, like I said earlier, we are going to need to distribute that negative 7. So we're going to take the negative 7, we're only distributing it to what's in parentheses. Negative 7 times 3a, negative 21a. Negative 7 times negative 1, positive 7, negative times a negative is positive, equals 91. Now let's see if we need to combine anything on the left side. As I look on the left side, it's negative 21a plus 7. I can't combine anything, so we're just going to step 3 and solving it. Again, we get rid of the constant, which is the number furthest away from the a first. I'm adding 7. I'm moving it to the other side of the equal sign, so we're going to subtract 7. So negative 21a equals 91 minus 7 is 84. Again, use a calculator if you need to. And then again, we are multiplying by a negative 21. We're not subtracting 21. So we're going to divide by a negative 21. The opposite of multiplying by a negative 1 is dividing both sides by negative 21. Negative 21's cancel. A equals 84 divided by negative 21. Is 4, and it's a negative 4. And this is solved because I get variable equal to a number. feel free to pause this at any time if you need to review them. Hopefully you've seen this stuff before, just kind of some review. Equations will get a little harder as we go through. So as I look at 3, first thing you should notice is I do have parentheses with the number being multiplied in front. So I do have to distribute. However, we do not distribute that 4m. What we distribute is the negative 5, because that's what's being multiplied by the parenthesis. So negative 5 times 3, negative 15m. Negative 5 times 10, negative 50, equals 126. So I'm distributing that negative 5 to what's in the parenthesis. That 4m out front stays there. Let's combine like terms on the left side. Again, when I combine like terms, we're keeping it on the left side, so we take the sign in front. We only use opposite when I would move it over to the other side of the equal sign. 4 minus 15, negative 11m. There's nothing to put the negative 50 with on the left side, equals 126. So we're going to combine the left side first. Now I have an equation like we did on lesson 1. So we get rid of the constant first. We're going to add 50 to both sides. So negative 11m equals 176. I'm multiplying by negative 11, so the opposite is divide by negative 11. And then 176 divided by negative 11. So m equals negative 16. And this is solved because I have a variable equal to a number. You could always take negative 16, plug it in for m, and you should get 126 on the left side. If I look at 4, you should notice we've done double distributing before in Unit 1. We're going to take negative 3, distribute it to k minus 8. And remember, this is a negative 1 there, even though there's nothing written. We're going to take that negative 1 and distribute to k plus 5. Negative 3 times k is negative 3k. Negative 3 times negative 8 is positive 24. Double check your negatives. Negative 1 times k is negative k. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5, equals 23. So we go left to right and just rewrite the stuff. Second step is to look on the left side, combine like terms. You take the sign in front. You do not use opposite when you combine like terms. Negative 3k minus 1k, negative 4k. 24 minus 5, positive 19. Again, you take the sign in front. You only use opposite signs when you move it to the other side of the equal sign, which is what we're going to do right now. I need to get k alone. So I have the negative 4 and the positive 19. You get rid of the constant first, which is furthest away. We're moving it to the other side, so we're going to subtract 19. Negative 4k, 19 minus 19 is gone. 23 minus 19, 4. Divide by negative 4. Negative 4's cancel, so you get k equals 4 divided by negative 4, negative 1. That is solved because I get a variable equal to a number. Okay, so what I want you to do real quick is I want you to draw a triangle in the upper right hand corner. Okay, so as you're watching this, again, I'm going to be checking these notes. So right now I need you to draw a triangle in the upper right hand corner by where the name line is. And that's how I'll check that you actually watched the video and listened to it. Okay, 5. We notice here I have a parenthesis with a number being multiplied in front, so we're going to distribute the 8. You only distribute it to what is in the parenthesis, so the 2w and the negative 1. So 8 times 2w is 16w. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. We have negative 4w. I'm not multiplying the 8 through it, so I just leave it on the end, equals negative 116. 16w minus 4w. 16 minus 4 is 12w. Again, you don't use opposite sign when you're keeping them on the same side. I have the negative 8 equals negative 116. Now it looks like an equation that we did on Unit 1. Take care of the constant first. We're moving it to the other side, so use the opposite. The opposite of subtracting 1 is adding, the opposite of subtracting 8 is adding 8. Start from the left. 12w. Negative 8 plus 8's cancel. Negative 116 plus 8. Use calculator if you need to. Negative 108. It's not quite solved yet. I need to get rid of the 12. I'm doing 12 times w, so the opposite is dividing both sides by 12. 12's cancel, w equals 108, negative 108 divided by 12 is negative 9. And this is solved because it's a variable equal a number. W equals negative 9. One last example. So hopefully this is kind of ringing a bell. You've seen it before. Okay, so first thing, again, I need to distribute the negative 6. You take the sign in front of it. That 10x is not being multiplied by it, so it just stays there. Negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30, equals 20. So distribute first if you need to, and then look on your left side, combine like terms. You take the sign in front. 10x minus 12x, negative 2x, minus 30 equals 20. Get rid of your constant first. Opposite of subtracting 30, we're going to add 30 to both sides. And again, this is the type of work I need to see on your homework, where I see exactly what you're doing to each side. So negative 2x, your 30's cancel. 20 plus 30 is 50. Again, I'm multiplying by negative 2, so the opposite is divide by negative 2. X equals 50 divided by negative 2, negative 25. And this is solved because I get variable equal to a number. So hopefully this kind of rings a bell. Hopefully you've kind of seen this stuff before, but just kind of a few more complicated equations.